From the home screen, you will enter your civil action number in the search bar and click search. The ODR system will look through the case files to find your case. Once it finds a result, you will see your civil action number, the pending court date, and the case type, in this case, landlord-tenant. To register as the tenant, you will click Register as Tony Tenant. In a live case, Tony Tenant would be replaced with the party's name. Once you click that, you will be brought to the screen to answer some questions. It'll give you a brief introduction of what the system is and why you're here. The first question that it's asking is whether or not you're the landlord, the tenant, or neither. You will click the button for tenant, and then some questions will be generated. You will have to answer all of these questions in order to proceed. The first question is, do you agree with any or all of the debt alleged by your landlord, and please describe. The next question is, are you disputing the debt, and why? We will say we believe the total amount is incorrect. The next question is, are you filing a counterclaim or asserting any other set-off to the debt? We are not. The next question is, have you as the tenant or the landlord sought assistance from any state, federal, or private organization for financial assistance? Which agency and when? And then have you received the assistance and the amount that you received? In this instance, we will say no. The last question is, are you working with a lawyer regarding this dispute? We will say no. Also, if there is a PFA, or protection from abuse, or no contact order between the parties, this box can be checked, which will alert the administration that there needs to be a mediator assigned immediately. In this instance, there will not be, so we will continue. As the tenant, you will read through this acknowledgement to mediate. This explains that participation in mediation is required, but you may opt out by sending a notice to the court for review and approval. The registration requires you to have a valid email address. And then it explains the steps for the online mediation process. It explains that parties have 7 days to negotiate the terms of an agreement on their own. If 7 days goes by and there's no agreement, the court will assign a mediator immediately. However, you don't need to wait the 7 days to request a mediator. You can request one at any point after you register. If the agreement is reached without a mediator, you can prepare the agreement form in the system, or you can request help from a mediator. This agreement will be signed and is legally binding. If the party does not keep the agreement, the other party can file an affidavit in court claiming the party didn't keep its agreement, in which case the agreement will be breached and additional legal action will be taken. It explains who the mediators are and that they're neutral parties that have completed training programs approved by the Delaware Justice of the Peace Court. They do not act as an advocate or an attorney, and they will not give legal advice. Legal advice is important to know and it's important to know your legal rights, either by consultation with an attorney or through other sources such as Delaware Legal Help or information on JP Court civil cases that can be found by clicking these links. It's also important to understand that these negotiations are confidential. The mediator and the administrative staff are overseeing the system, and we will not share any communication that is made during mediation with persons not involved in the mediation, unless all parties request this to be done and the mediator agrees, or if it's required by law or court rule. Mediation communications include verbal or written statements, such as proposed resolutions and unsigned agreements. Communications between only you and the mediator are not shared with the other party. The mediator may not be called as a witness or notes subpoenaed. ODR will send signed mediated agreements to the court. The court will monitor and report on the ODR's performance and effectiveness. Only aggregate findings will be reported, such as the number of cases, the number of successful mediations, how long the mediations take, etc. No information about your case will be published. As the tenant, when you agree to all this, you will type your name on this line. And then you will have to enter your email and your password. Once you enter your username and password, you will be brought to the status screen. You will notice that the status screen shows that your case is in progress. On the left-hand margin, you will see that the parties are listed in this first block. The check mark indicates that the user has already registered. The second block contains the details about your specific case, including the case type, in this instance landlord-tenant, as well as the civil action number. Clicking on the Conversations tab, you can start a conversation with everyone, or you can click Party to and Mediator to have a conversation with just the mediator. Clicking on the History tab will show you all the information that has been provided on this case in this system, to include the information that was provided from the landlord and the answers to the questions that you answered. In order to start a conversation, you can scroll down and type a message. Click Send to send the message. You'll notice on your screen that it says that you have sent a message on the 22nd to Lenny